I wanted to share this message with you from inside the walls of my shul in Yerushalayim. These walls haven't heard the sound of prayer in over 2 months, and I'm sure the same is true for your shul and for shuls across the world. And I believe it's a time for us to connect a different type of prayer, a prayer that is perhaps heard outside of the walls of the shuls. Let me tell you a story. There was a young rabbinical student here in Yerushalayim. And unfortunately, him and his wife, they didn't have children for over 10 years. They went to the doctors, they went to rabbis to get blessings. Then they heard that there was a Kabbalist down south, that they should go get his blessing. This young man traveled on 3 buses all day to find this rabbi. He knocks on his door and it's around the evening. They tell him, oh, he's praying now, come back after the evening services. He comes back and he says, Rabbi, give me a blessing. It's been over 10 years, no children. The rabbi asks him, have you ever prayed for a child before? He says, are you kidding me? Of course. I daven 3 times a day. I go to minyan. I've went to rabbis. Of course I've prayed for a child before. You insulting me? He said, no, you don't understand what I mean. Come with me. Brings him into his car. They travel a half hour into the southern desert. He says, please step outside. He says, now pray. I'll be back in a half hour to pick you up. And he leaves him there in the middle of the pitch dark. A half hour later, the rabbi comes back and he says, did you pray? He said, yes, I can't believe you left me out here. I prayed. Yes, I had nothing else to do. It's pitch dark out here. He said, no, you didn't pray yet. I don't see it in your eyes. You're not on the floor, on your knees. Daven. Turn to your loving Father in heaven and beg and tell him, please. Talk to him. He'll listen to you. I'm going to leave you here, and I'll come back in a little bit. But please pray. And he leaves. And this young man begins to pray like he's never prayed before. He finds himself crying, his knees on the floor, crunching onto the sand. And he turns to his loving Father like he's never turned before. It seems like just a few moments, but it was 45 minutes later. The Kabbalist comes back. The headlights come from a distance. He opens the door. He looks at this young Avrech and he says, I see in your eyes that you finally prayed. You don't need a blessing from me. I am guaranteed that you will be blessed with a child this coming year. This is the time period that we can't go in our routine of davening, but rather we could pray from the depth of our hearts when we're all alone. And I believe then we'll merit to see all of the blessings that we want to see in our life.